Hey guys that are on YouTube, I figured I'd go ahead and make a quick YouTube video here and whatnot. I just figured I'd go ahead and do one on DoorDash since I'm DoorDashing right now, and well, Instacart if any pop up and whatnot. I do have DoorDash paused currently. It's pretty busy, but I want to try to make sure to make more videos coming up, like quicker videos like this one. I'm just going to go ahead and record from my car. It's kind of off though. I'm probably going to get a special mount for recording. I do want to be doing landscape videos, so not just shorts videos, and I'll probably turn these videos into shorts occasionally, at least parts of them. But I figured to go ahead and talk about, hidden tips on DoorDash. They do that occasionally when there's a really good order, and they'll hide the tips because they're trying to discourage cherry picking. But it's just like, I don't even know. It doesn't really matter so much in a busy zone, but at the same time, it does lately. Even in the busy zones, if it's busy, they're still going to say that it's not busy to make sure they keep drivers, making sure to schedule and making sure to keep acceptance rate up. And plus they just have mass amounts of drivers now. It's seeming like it's getting a little bit better now that the summer's coming around. It's been so blah and so dead. They have decreased suggested tip. That's why we're going to see a lot less hidden tips lately, which is kind of good in some ways. Now we don't have to guess to know whether we're going to get more pay or not, but we're going to be doing a lot more orders. That's the thing. If we want to get as much money as we got before, because we did have a lot of, filler or bigger orders that were nice, that would help with the lower base pay. We'd randomly get a catering order that would pay $20 plus, and it would help fill in a lot of the smaller pay that we weren't getting. Now I have Uber Eats still on. I just realized that one's $6.37 for 8.9 miles. No thank you, Safeway. Anyways, so yeah, I have Uber Eats and Instacart on. I usually have Instacart on all the time, and I never worry about acceptance rate so much on Uber Eats. I only do it if there's good orders. DoorDash, I pretty much do almost all orders. It still can be pretty good. Some days you pretty much have to accept everything when it's dead, and it does slowly but surely add up. And it seems like they've more balanced it out. I still make an okay amount of pay, especially when it's busy, but it does, how they lowered the base pay. They are, doing a little bit more on the base pay side. A lot of times they will increase it a little bit more, but they're balancing everything out. So we don't really have, at least, I don't know, maybe in the summer it'll help a lot. I'll be making a lot more money, but they've seemed to balance everything out. So they'll keep you active and doing small orders for a long time. You won't get that much pay. And all of a sudden they'll hit you with a big order and get you caught up. It does seem to happen a decent amount. And then it just seems like they keep, at least around here, they keep you around 23 an hour, right around there. But that's not including all the gas you have to put in your car and, the wear and tear on your vehicle. So on DoorDash, at least lately, it seems like it's right at minimum wage. But with summer kicking in, I'm really hoping that'll change a little bit. But the best days I've been having lately with just DoorDash is $250 going 12 plus hours. I have came close to hitting 300 on a few days, but last summer, I don't know. I'm hoping this summer will be, all right. But like I said, they've decreased the suggested tip. So for example, I used to have orders all the time from certain customers. They would, tip the highest amount, and it would turn it into a $20 to $28 order. Now they've decreased that suggested tip, so I get $15 to $18 on that same order, and then they tip an extra $5 a lot of times after I drop off, so I'm still making $20 or whatnot. But I'm losing $5 to $10 compared to what I used to make. It does seem like they do a lot more combining orders though. I've had all kinds of combined orders, but with lots of smaller base pay. They've done a bunch of triples today, but so I made $30 between the three orders, which is good. I haven't seen a lot of, big orders today, but I've seen lots of smaller orders. I'm really hoping, I don't know. Well, we'll see. Summer just started. It's finally starting to get busy again. I've had a decent amount of triple orders. I've had a decent amount of orders in general. This is the first really busy day. I guess, July 3rd was pretty busy. Did all right. July 4th, if I would have kept going, I still made I think on July 4th, I made 280, right around there. And I probably would have hit 300 plus if I would have kept going. But right around 10 o'clock is when I stopped, because that's when the parties start. And I don't like delivering alcohol to parties, as you never know if there's underage drinkers when you have all kinds of people around. So it's one of those things where I don't like to continue on, even though I can make a bunch more money, because it was peak pay and it was very busy. But I was just yeah, I don't want to chance it. I'd rather not chance possibly losing my DoorDash by accidentally, delivering to someone I knew was overage, but then somebody could have said, you delivered to an underage, or somebody underage got it. So it's just one of those things where I try to balance things out. But that's one of the things. I think there'll be a lot less hidden tips, which is kind of good, but there's going to be a lot more orders. So we're going to technically have to do a lot more orders to make the money, but at least there should be more orders. They will have to increase base pay more to get certain orders out there, but they have certain drivers out there that they know, there's certain drivers around here that accept everything to 100% and just accept it like that. And I do that occasionally. It's not it's that bad. I still make, if I accept everything on most days, and I go from 8 a.m. until 10 o'clock, which is 14 hours, or right around there. Sometimes start at 8:30. I still make right at $300. And that's accepting everything. But that's 300 plus miles I have to drive, because they send so many long orders that are 10 miles and then 10 miles back, or even 14 miles and then 14 miles back, that just go out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm wasting $20 to $30 in gas every day on top of it, plus, expenses. And so instead of making the 300 because of all the expenses, food, gas, etc., I'm only making $250 to even less sometimes. But when it's busy and get a lot of different miscellaneous short orders, then I only have to do 150 miles, sometimes only 100 miles, which is a lot better. And it helps when I can get Instacart going and it's got those big orders. Then, I'm really hoping I'll see a lot more of those. And then I can mix it with DoorDash, and that's when I really make the money. There's not a lot of Instacarts around here. There's not a lot of orders. But when I get the good ones, $50 to $80 here and there that can add to the DoorDash, that's when I can hit $350 to $400, or even up to close to $500. The most I ever made was $480. But again, they've dropped suggested tip. Like I said, we're going to be seeing a lot less bigger tips. We occasionally at the beginning of the month, we do have a lot of big, tippers that understand that the suggested tip is really low, and they go ahead and tip more. But at the same time, I don't discredit non-tipping people. I really appreciate the people that do tip extra, as it does help a lot, and I make a good amount more money. But I do appreciate even the people that order and don't tip, because if we get more orders with lots more, people, even if they don't tip, and then if we have a lot more orders compared to drivers, even if there's no tip, it does pretty much force DoorDash to increase pay on those orders. And then we do get paid more if there's a lot of orders out there not getting picked up, or we get a lot more orders and it just, you get doubles and triples, and it goes in a loop. Even the other day, I had just an order after order, and I had one order that they had me keep. I was up to 6 orders before dropping off this Dollar General order, and he was only a mile away, but they sent me back to Safeway to pick up another order before dropping his off, and I'm it's 0.8 miles to him. It's not going to make me late, so I went ahead and switched it over. The only thing is, it's actually better to keep that order, at least on me. I do feel bad for the customer. If the customer messages me a lot of times and it's like, when are you going to get here? You know, blah, blah, blah. And I do explain while I'm doing all this, you know, and all the orders DoorDash is sending me. And I show them what is going on and how many orders I have. But that's the thing. It's like, if I keep that order in town, because that one was close, they're not going to send me an order that goes way out of town because I have to deliver that one eventually. Sometimes they still do, but then they'll have me deliver to that one and then send me out of town. But usually the one out of town pays a little bit better most of the time. The thing is, it's sometimes good to accept everything if it's dead. But if it's not, keeping yourself at 100% does occasionally have them take advantage of you. They will send you super far, and you'll still make probably about the same. Well, you get a slight increase of pay. But a lot of times, if you're at 100%, they're going to take advantage of that. They're realizing, oh, you'll accept everything. So any order they have that's out there, they're going to send to you because, especially if it's dead. That's the thing. It's kind of good because if it's dead, they're going to send you more orders and you're going to stay busy. So you'll continue to make money. But at the same time, they'll also send you the bad ones. So if you accept all the bad ones, you're not going to make that much money. That a lot of times, if you're right downtown, it's super busy, you're going to make a lot more money. And then once you take that one that goes way out of town, even if it's $20, it's going to take forever to get back. And then you'll go from making $30 an hour down to, you know, $20 to even $10 an hour because it slows you down. Anyway, so that's the thing is, they hide the tips to prevent cherry picking. And, but like I said, there should be a little bit less of that going on because there's going to be lower tips in general. I'm hoping that's not going to super be the case. I do like the big tips occasionally. That's because they decreased pay. We're going to be having to do a lot more work. We're going to be getting pretty much the same pay. I'm not going to say that our pay is going to go way down this summer, but we are just going to have to do a lot more orders. We're probably going to have a lot more orders out there because there's going to be a lot less drivers picking them up. But if you accept them, then they'll send a lot more orders to you because of it. Anyways, I'm going to get to work. Super hot in here. I turned the air conditioner off because I wanted to make this video without making the air conditioner sound like that. I don't know if that made any sense, but I need to start making videos. I need to make it quicker than this. Next time I'm going to make sure to cut it off at 8 minutes because I got to get back to work. This I could have made probably, $5-10 by now. Bye for now, guys.